Oftentimes, when working with particles, you'll run into some issues where particles kind of fly off in the distance away from the majority of your other particles. So let's look at how we can quickly cull those particles inside of a PopNet. So I'm going to drop down a soft create. This project file will be available on Patreon. If you'd like to grab it, you can do so on there. I'm going to drop down a spiral, and we're going to just create a little suction force along this curve. So let's give this some height, and then I'm going to drop down a null. We're going to call this out curve, and we'll move this off to the side, and then I'm going to do an orient along curve as well, so that we can have our normals pointing along the curve. So let's drop down a blast after this, and I'm going to set this to points, and we're going to grab that first point and delete non-selected so that we have a point to copy to. And then I'm going to drop down a circle and a copy to points. And we will wire both of these in, and we can take a look here. This is way too large. If I take a look at this, you can see that it is following the orientation of our curve though. So let's take this and increase the divisions, and let's just crank this size down quite a bit. Something like that should work. And then we can drop down our PopNet and wire in that to the first input there. So let's dive inside, and in here we're going to use a pop curve force. And we can set our stop path here. So we'll set that to that curve that we just created. And you can see that our guides are super large. So let's turn those down with this max influence radius. So I'll set this to like 0.1. And if I take a look at this, you can see that this emitter is not following where our guides are showing. And the issue with that is if you see this line here, this line is where our actual curve is. So we need to have our guides kind of reflect that a little bit better. And the way that we do that is with this guide spacing. So if we turn this down, you can see that our guides are going to follow that a little bit better here. So let's come back to our curve force, and let's up the suction scale a little bit. And if I press play now, you can see our particles are just kind of flying off into the distance. They're getting sucked super hard along this curve that they fly off into the distance. So let's do a pop speed limit to just bring that down a little bit. Try to keep some of the particles a little bit more on the path. So we'll set our maximum speed there. And if I press play, we still have particles flying off, but for the most part, our particles are moving along the curve. So let's fix all these particles that are flying off. And this is going to be done inside of a pop solver. And this must be inside of a pop solver because if you do it, or sorry, not a pop solver, a SOP solver. So you have to do it inside of a SOP solver because if you do it after the fact, the particles, as they fly out of the path of your geometry, you may end up with some particles coming back through your actual path, and they're not going to be deleted at that point. They'll be deleted from basically here up to here, but once they enter this path again, they're going to be added back into your simulation. So let's jump into this SOP solver. Let's start back at the start. And in here, let's go ahead and drop down an object merge. And again, we're just going to bring in that curve. And then we're going to use a proximity node to determine whether or not these particles are going to need to be deleted. So this proximity node is going to give us some different options here. We have a search radius. We have some maximum points. We can set this up if we wanted to super high. Or we can come down here to this nearest point. We can turn that off because I'm not looking to grab the nearest point. I want to just grab a nearby group. That's going to be determined based off of this search radius. So I'm going to come down and just drop down a blast node after this. And I'm going to set that to that nearby group. Let's just make sure it's set to points. If I press play now, we have some points that are showing up, but that's way later down the path. So we need to turn on the search radius. So as I start to do that, you can see that we get our points coming closer to that curve, but we need to invert this. So let's come to delete non-selected, and let's come back to the search radius, and let's kind of come in a little closer here. And let's just bring this down so that we get rid of those particles that are away from the curve. So you can see we go too far and we start to clip off our particles there. We don't want to do that. Let's come back here and let's actually just make sure we reset our simulation here. And if I press play now, you can see that we have all of those particles that were flying off in the distance. They are no longer going to be getting culled from our geometry there. So hopefully this has helped you out. This proximity node is going to be useful for a lot of different things. It's basically a near point function that is not needed to be coded in Vex or anything like that, or inside of Ops. So if you're used to using that and don't want to try to remember how that all works, you can use this node instead. Creates all the groups and stuff for you. It's really, really useful node. So play with it and see what you can come up with. If you want to have this be a surface, you can like come to the end of your simulation and you can like bake out your final kind of like simulation, and you can use that as a base for your proximity instead of like this curve, or like you could mesh this curve if you wanted to. There's lots of different ways that you can go about doing that, but this will help you to just kind of cull out some of those particles that are flying off in the distance. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.